Hey, thanks for making it to Veterans Info Tap. I'm glad you made it. Look, there are several pieces of legislation that are still pending and still out there in the legislative arena. I don't know what else to call it, but they're still there. And they're going to be addressed this coming 2024. It's around the corner. Now, look, here's the thing. When it comes to legislative efforts, it is extremely important that we voice our support or opposition, right? I get it. We're not always going to all agree for everything, but the biggest piece that I can really kind of lean on here is the more that we're involved. Either way, even if it's a 50-50 split and we're hammering a legislative congressional member 50-50, right? 1,000 of us on this side and 1,000 of us on that side. What's the key takeaway? We're involved, right? And that is so important for our elected officials to understand that we are paying attention and that we are watching. And we need to lean forward and make it known, especially the ones that we want to get passed, because otherwise they will fizzle out. And this is absolutely a nationwide effort. Even if a piece of legislation is introduced from some state that you're not from, that is, remember, it's federal, so it's going to affect you somehow, impact you somehow. It's important to be involved. Now, I am a fan of even small things. Changing the name of a clinic or a VA hospital, right, to honor somebody. Showing support for that, if it makes sense, or opposition, right? I mean, whatever. Be involved. It's one email to your congressional representative. It's one phone call. Leave a message if you want, right? Call after hours if you want to. Just be involved and be another voice is really all I'm saying. If you want to drive down there and take the time, great. I'm going to jump in here to a few, not all, but a few pieces of legislation that are going to be touched on the Senate side anyway. I did a video on this yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. Did a video on this yesterday, but this was toward the tail end of the video, the pending legislation that's still happening. So I wanted to share it with you here. So please hit the thumbs up, subscribe, share with a friend, all that good stuff. Look, here's the deal. Do two things for me. Hit the thumbs up and let the video run. That is what pushes this along, right? Without the thumbs up and without letting the video run, we're basically fumbling the ball. We all need to do our part to get this information out so we can get things passed, because awareness is the absolute key to any of this, right? I'll tell you, if you're like me, you're probably sick and tired of finding out stuff when it's too late, right? Day late, dollar short. Oh, well, I wish I would have known, right? I'm so sick of that feeling, and that's basically what has driven me to be here for you. So let's jump into this. On the Senate's website, specifically the U.S. Senate Committee on Veterans Affairs, on a press release that they put out, there's a section in here that talks about when the Senate returns in 2024, some of the pieces of legislation that they're working on. And so that's what I wanted to share with you here, just to bring it back into your awareness. And there's several, it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 maybe pieces of legislation. So there could be a couple more. But anyway, let me read through this for you. When the Senate returns in 2024, Tester, who is the chairman of the Veterans Committee there in the Senate, so that's Senator Tester, is committed to working to expand veterans' access to health care benefits, or to health care and benefits, no matter where they live. The chairman, again, Chairman Tester, will continue his push to improve veterans' mental health care and VA's community care with his Making Community Care Work for Veterans Act. So again, the first one, Making Community Care Work for Veterans Act. And I'll put all this in the description as well, so you can You can even, copy and paste it and change it a little bit and send it to your congressional members and say, hey, look, I want you to support these. All right, so moving on. Making his community care work for veterans act to fix an injustice preventing combat injured veterans from receiving their full military benefits with his bipartisan Major Richard Starr Act. I know many people have been asking about that. So again, that first line is he's committed to working to expand veterans' access to health care and benefits. And this includes to fix that injustice preventing combat injured veterans from receiving their full military benefits with his bipartisan Major Richard Starr Act. Now, on that, if you're not aware of it, it's a pretty horrible situation. So if you're planning to retire from the military and you're pushing through and you're at 16 years and you get injured, or you have a disability, a VA service-connected disability that bars you from staying in the military, and you get medically discharged, you can't receive both your VA disability and your retirement. So this basically is looking to fix that, which is long overdue. So again, it says here, to fix the injustice preventing combat injured veterans from receiving their full military benefits with his bipartisan Major Richard Starr Act. Next one is to hold unaccredited crooks scamming veterans' hard-earned benefits accountable with his bipartisan Guard VA Benefits Act. The next one is to strengthen accountability at the VA with his bipartisan LEAD Act, LEAD Act, and to build VA's capacity to serve veterans, especially in rural America, with his bipartisan VA Careers Act and BUILD Act. So there's two, the BUILD, BUILD Act, and the VA Careers Act. So those two. It finishes off with this kind of a last paragraph that I'll read through real quick. A longtime champion for veterans, Tester has worked alongside veterans and veteran service organizations to shepherd landmark bipartisan legislation through Congress for veterans and their families, such as the PACT Act, the Blue Water Navy Vietnam Veterans Act. That was huge. That was a big deal. The Commander John Scott Hannon Veterans Mental Health Care Improvement Act, the Deborah Sampson Act, the Johnny Isaacson and David P. Rowe, MD Veterans Health Care and Benefits Improvement Act. All right. So with that, those are the list of whatever it was. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 pieces of legislation that Tester is specifically calling out that he's going to continue working on in 2024. The Making Community Care Work for Veterans Act, the Major Richard Starr Act, the Guard VA Benefits Act, the LEAD Act, the VA Careers Act, and the BUILD Act. So with that, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. Have a great one. And remember, if we don't take care of each other, something went wrong.